Good evening, I'm Brett Baer. Breaking tonight, a Republican lawmaker tries and fails to begin the process of trying to get rid of the House Speaker, who is a member of her own party. We've been following this from the beginning. Georgia's Marjorie Taylor Greene triggered her motion late this afternoon to vacate, and it is immediately rebuffed by her colleagues. 10 other Republicans voted to continue that effort. Senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram is at Capitol Hill right now with the latest. A lot of drama, but kind of as we expected. Good evening, Chad.
Good evening, Brett. A lot of drama, but we kind of knew the outcome. For the second time in 8 months, there was an effort to kick out the Speaker of the House. In October, it was successful. Today, it was not. The House has just voted to kill this resolution by Marjorie Taylor Greene. The vote was 349. In an effort to table this, to kill this, to put this off the table, there were 47 members who voted in favor of it. In other words, they wanted to advance to an actual vote to remove the Speaker. There were 7 members who voted present. Here are some of the grievances from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Listen.
Whereas excuses like, this is just how you have to govern in divided government, are pathetic, weak, and unacceptable. Even with our razor-thin Republican majority, we could have at least secured the border, with it being the #1 issue in the country.
Now, there were 11 Republicans who voted against, trying to keep the Speaker, and voted in favor of trying to throw out Speaker Johnson here. Had this motion to table not succeeded, what would have happened is they would have advanced immediately to a vote to remove House Speaker Mike Johnson. That's what happened with former Speaker Kevin McCarthy last fall. I have the names of the 11 Republicans who voted in favor of trying to oust Johnson. Andy Biggs of Arizona, Eric Burleson of Missouri, Eli Crane of Arizona, Warren Davidson of Ohio, Paul Gosar of Arizona, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey of Kentucky, who aligned with Greene on this, Alex Mooney of West Virginia, Barry Moore of Alabama, Chip Roy of Texas, Victoria Spartz. And Marjorie Taylor Greene basically said that Mike Johnson was unfit to be Speaker. She criticized him over FISA. She criticized him over dealing with Democrats to move the foreign aid package and spending bills. This is an interesting situation here because it was basically Democrats who salvaged Mike Johnson. As we often say, it is about the numbers, and the Democrats making the decision with 11 Republicans voting against Mike Johnson. Otherwise, we would have had a vote later tonight on removing Mike Johnson had Democrats not come to his rescue. Brett?
So, Chad, does this end this effort permanently?
Not necessarily, because what Greene did in about 46 days ago, she lorded this resolution over Mike Johnson. And what she did tonight is she triggered it. She made it privileged, meaning it goes to the front of the legislative line. You can do this ad infinitum if you want. Marjorie Taylor Greene, in some respects here, was beaten back very badly here. She didn't have the votes, but if she wanted to do this again, she could. Keep in mind that there is an awful lot of discontent among Republicans or fellow Republicans for doing this. They think that this is taking away from President Trump trying to run for election this fall, making the Republicans look bad, and just stirring this mayhem and chaos in the House of Representatives. That's where some say that the Democrats, they wanted to get away from this chaos. They believe that Mike Johnson has been an honest broker. They don't like some of his conservatism and his politics, but they believe that he worked with them on Ukraine and some of the spending bills, and that's why they were willing to intervene and help him today. But, Brett, some might argue that that helped facilitate some of the chaos because they assisted Mike Johnson, a member of the other party. That is very rare.
Yeah. Chad Pergram, live on the Hill, having us covered on all angles of this. Chad, thanks.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.